question everyone wants to know the answer to. So keep watching to find out. Hi, my name is Despina Pavlou and I'm a certified personal trainer and the founder of PCOS Oracle, where I talk about all things PCOS and how to reverse it naturally. So if that's what you're looking for, then consider subscribing and don't forget to turn that notification bell on to be notified when I upload a new video. In today's video, I want to be speaking about high intensity interval training, also known as HIIT, and whether this training approach, this form of cardio, is best for PCOS, or if you should just opt for more steady state cardio, more low intensity. So let's jump straight into the video. Firstly, what is high intensity interval training? High intensity interval training, also known as HIIT, is a vigorous form of exercise which involves full bursts of energy followed by a short or active recovery period. HIIT sessions often last 25 minutes or less. It involves 3 minutes of a warm-up, 10 60-second sprints followed by 60 seconds of rest or recovery period, and 2 minutes of a cool down. So why is HIIT so popular in the PCOS community? Well, here's why. Around 70% of women with PCOS suffer from insulin resistance. This is a condition where the cells in the body struggle to absorb glucose in the blood, and as a result, there's a buildup of sugar in the bloodstream. So pretty much the vast majority of women with PCOS suffer from insulin resistance, and that's driving their high male hormones and their symptoms like difficulty losing weight, weight gain, brain fog, fatigue, cravings for sugar and carbohydrate-rich foods, just to name a few. So researchers have found that HIIT completed over 10 weeks improved insulin resistance. A further study looking at the impact of HIIT on women who suffer from insulin resistance and PCOS, in which they did HIIT 3 times a week over a 12-week period, showed a reduction in their waist and hip circumference. So the reason why HIIT can help with insulin resistance and increase insulin sensitivity is because of the fact that it helps you expend a lot of glucose. And because of the fast full burst of energy for that minute or however long you are able to do it, you are kind of changing the glucose balance in the muscles. So insulin becomes active during the rest period and is able to shuttle glucose into the muscle cells to be used as fuel and energy for the bout of energy. So that's why it's often recommended. So is this form of cardio, is HIIT more superior to just the general steady state cardio, which just involves going at the same pace, no intervals, no intense intervals, you're just continuously going at the same pace, superior than that? Is HIIT better than steady state cardio? Should women with PCOS do more of HIIT rather than steady state cardio? Let's get into it. Let's look at the pros and the cons of each. Number one, one of the biggest reasons why people do HIIT is because that the idea that it burns more calories. So here's the thing about HIIT and burning more calories as over steady state cardio. So what we have to think about with HIIT and steady state cardio is we're obviously going full speed as fast as we can during that 1 minute. Then we're taking, maybe we're walking, or some people even just don't even walk while they're waiting for that recovery period. They just stop and you just see their foot moving like that on the treadmill until the time has elapsed, 60 seconds has elapsed, and they've gone full speed ahead again. So how much of a distance do you think you have traveled in that 1 minute of full speed ahead and then, just walking for that 20-minute period? We're not athletes. We probably haven't run, 3 miles. we probably haven't done 3 miles unless you're, only like super athletic people with super endurance can probably do that. We're just average people trying to keep up our fitness. So the way to think about it, if you're doing steady state cardio and you walk for an hour, you've probably done, 3 to 4 miles, depending on how fast you walk, your pace, things like that. So if you think about it, if you did steady state cardio for an hour, you've essentially walked further, so you have burned more calories. With HIIT, you've done less, so you've burned less calories. Or other people I know who have done HIIT cardio and compared it to steady state cardio, and they've did the same time, like 20 minutes, let's say, and they burn pretty similar calories after steady state cardio does more. So that's basically, if you're kind of focusing on the calorie aspect, that you think if you do 20 minutes you're going to burn so many more calories, it's not necessarily true. But you're probably thinking, what about the afterburn? Like, afterburn, you burn so many calories after you've done HIIT cardio. Like, you have to do HIIT cardio, because then, you know, I come home, I just lie on my sofa and I've burned thousands of calories. But let's look at this afterburn. Let's see actually how many calories does, you know, HIIT cardio allow you to burn after the workout's even completed. So this afterburn has come after researchers have discovered that after this intense exercise, there's this excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. So let's just call it epoc for short, so, you know, because that's a mouthful. So basically what this means is that intense exercise creates an oxygen debt, and that more oxygen needs to be taken in post-workout to bring these mechanisms and systems back into that of your body back into homeostasis. And in order to do this, in order for your body to come back to balance homeostasis, it burns a couple of extra calories. How many extra calories, you wonder? Well, the research shows that around you burn an extra 6 to 15% of the total calories that you burned from that intense workout. So let's say the total calories burned was 200. So if we're gonna calculate the epoc or your afterburn, the extra calories that you're gonna burn post-workout, from 200 that will be 12, that's at the minimum, the most would be 30. And when you look at it like that, epoc doesn't sound that amazing. You could easily burn that 12 or 30 calories in like a minute or two doing steady state cardio. So the pro is that HIIT uses more carbohydrates as fuel. So this is kind of why it's great for insulin resistance. You use all that glucose floating around, which is great. Another benefit is that it is more efficient to do HIIT. Obviously, if you have a busy schedule, if you don't want to be spending an hour doing steady state cardio, just want to be in and out, get your cardio done, then it's more efficient. You go in, 20 minutes, you're out, rather than, you know, walking in and you got to do that for an hour. Some people find that boring, which follows on from my next point, is that it's less boring. Obviously, if you're doing, you know, HIIT, there's that 6 seconds of all out, and then you'll chill for a bit, and then you're all. It's like it mixes it up. It's got intervals. It's a bit exciting. And pretty important and relevant drawback to HIIT for PCOS, which is the main thing I want to stress in the video, and that is that HIIT significantly raises cortisol. And as you may know, high cortisol stress is the driving factor when it comes to hormone imbalance and PCOS. It's something we need to be working on, lowering stress to help with hormonal balance. Exercise intensities between 80% and 90% of your VO2 max causes elevated cortisol levels to be released. So one of the biggest reasons why I'm not, I guess, a proponent of women with PCOS doing HIIT is because it significantly increases cortisol levels, and this is really something that we need to be reducing. And you know, it just puts a lot of stress on the body, and I guess it's not something that's necessarily needed. And intense exercise also suppress the thyroid, and once you suppress the thyroid, you wreak havoc with the metabolism. So HIIT isn't my, I guess, go-to or recommended form of exercise or cardio for women with PCOS. But research shows that working out at 63% of your VO2 max is effective enough to be burning fat. So going, higher than 63% just doesn't seem necessary for you. If your goal is fat burning, fat loss. And following along from how HIIT is a huge kind of stress on the body, is that when you think about especially if you're using the treadmill here, that constant banging of the legs, the feet, really bad on the joints, the knees. One of the, reasons not to do HIIT is because it kind of is a bit similar to resistance training. If you do weight training, there's going to be that intense bit where you're lifting heavy and you're taking a 30-second to 60-second rest period, and then you're going again lifting heavy. So it kind of some similarities there. Moving on to steady state cardio, one of the benefits is that you're burning more fat for fuel. Now you're probably going, yay, burning fat. So yes, you'll be burning a high proportion of fat for fuel, but that doesn't mean, it's using 100% fat. Another benefit is that the recovery period is much less. It's compared to high intensity interval training, because it's not much of a stress on the body. You're not going all out burning, just draining yourself. It's really hard to do HIIT with a weight training workout because, it just drains your energy. So, it'll be hard to do a leg workout and then expect to be doing a HIIT workout. And it's probably not very effective if your goal is muscle building, which I highly recommend if you're trying to, even help with insulin resistance and PCOS, because for every 10% increase in muscle mass, there's an 11% relative reduction in insulin resistance. So another key thing I want you to take away is that research shows low intensity exercises, around 40% of your VO2 max, has been shown to reduce stress levels, which is thumbs up. That's what we need to be doing. So it's the opposite of what HIIT does. That spikes cortisol, this lowers it. So keep that in mind when you're trying to decide which kind of cardio you want to do. And touching on, a lot of people say that steady state cardio is super boring. Personally, I don't think it is. If you just put some music in, time flies by. So further benefits of steady state cardio is that it can increase the network of capillaries and increase mitochondria. So with an increase in network of capillaries, there's an increase in faster recovery. That's the added benefit by having more efficient nutrient transport system. So like I said, around 6% of your VO2 max is an effective exertion to be burning fat. So make sure there is somewhat of a level of intensity to your steady state cardio. It's not just about walking super slow at a slow pace on the treadmill, or just taking it super casual on the bike and not putting some kind of exertion in there to max. There's a few simple ways you can increase the intensity and exertion of your steady state cardio. For example, if you're on the treadmill, up the incline. I always love walking on an incline. I go to the fullest and I just walk up. It's always harder to walk up on an incline and you're burning more calories because it's tougher. Another one would be increasing the resistance. So again, on a treadmill or any other cardio machine, elliptical, stationary bike, increase the resistance, make it harder for you to pedal, to go move on the elliptical, increase that resistance. When the resistance is going up, that's a sign you're improving and becoming stronger. So do that. So, when you get stronger, you increase it, and you can always then, that's like So, to summarize everything that's been said in this video, should you do HIIT for PCOS weight loss? Is it better? Personally, I'm not really an advocate of it. I personally don't really do it much either. I'm trying to lower as much stress, cortisol that I am kind of exposed to. There's so many stresses in our life, and I feel like adding that extra stressor doesn't seem worth it. And I feel like I can find benefits from just doing steady state cardio, which I really enjoy. I can, walk outside and listen to an audiobook or some music or podcast or something. The time passes. And I do resistance training, so I mix up. I create intensity from there. I do my cardio kind of workouts. I'm not like I don't personally do high intensity interval training solely because I want to reducing the cortisol, the stress. I want you to honor your hormone imbalance. If you're really struggling with the whole cortisol issue, which are, you have to be taking care of those delicate hormones. So I would really recommend focusing on addressing that. Again, everyone has their own kind of choice and stance on HIIT. If this is something you really enjoy, you actually like HIIT, then no one can stop you. But I'm just providing you with the facts. If HIIT is something that you absolutely love, I guess doing it here and there is fine, as long as you're supporting your thyroid, supporting your metabolism, resting, and just minimizing overall stresses in your life. I wouldn't say it's something you should be doing on a regular basis. It shouldn't be your go-to form of cardio. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really, really hope you found some value. I hope I've answered your questions. You kind of gained some more insight into HIIT and PCOS and whether it's actually the best exercise. So if you liked the video, please like it, share it to tell others in the PCOS community about HIIT. Comment down below, do you do HIIT? Has your stance changed around HIIT? Are you going to still do it? Has the facts have swayed you? Let me know. I really want to find out. And make sure you subscribe for plenty more videos. And I'll catch you in the next one. And that's a wrap. It's enough content for today.